Let's Talk Diz, a show that gives you everything you need to know to help make your Disney vacation as magical as can be in just about 20 minutes. I'm your host, Jeff Coviello. With me each week is Disney Master Sandy from Easy Diz by Instant Impressions Travel Services. Sandy, how you doing this week?
I am doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. I hope that if you are a listener right now and you are hungry, you stop and you and you do not continue to listen. But if you are well fed and your stomach is full, tonight we're going to talk about a fun topic, and it's something that really has kind of become a thing in Walt Disney World. We're talking about a prefix meal in Walt Disney World.
Prefix is a unique phrase because it describes a couple of different things. We're going to go through the unique restaurants, but prefix in general, the biggest thing it's going to mean to people is there is absolutely no sharing. Everybody who is there pays full price. Sometimes it's a set course meal. Sometimes it's what we call family style, all you care to eat. They both fall under that prefix because it's not a menu with different courses and different prices. Once you walk in the door, this is what you're paying.
But it's different than a buffet.
It is, because buffet, you get up, you serve yourself. Here, everything is going to be served to you. And again, some of it is going to be a limited quantity. You're going to pick the appetizer, the main course, and the dessert. But some of it is going to be what I call tableside buffet. They're going to bring you food, and they're going to bring endless amounts of that food. So we'll walk you through each of the restaurants. There are actually 9 different options right now on property that fall into this prefix idea. And again, it's going to be a set price. So unlike other meals where you can share, you certainly can't share at a buffet either. But these are set. Most are included in the dining plan, not all. Some are 1 credit, some are 2. So if you're on the dining plan, we'll talk through that as well tonight.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start, I guess, we'll go theme park by theme park and then maybe close out with some of the resorts, because there are plenty of these options all over property. Let's begin where it all begins. Let's begin at the Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom has more options than anywhere else. There's actually 3, and 2 of them are super popular. One of them often gets overlooked. So I'm going to start with the most famous of all, which of course is Cinderella's Royal Table up in the castle. And that's going to be the prefix menu that we talked about, where you're going to pick from each course, and then that's going to be served to your table side. For breakfast, they consider your appetizer, a pastry basket. Entrees are everything from scrambled eggs and bacon to quiche, shrimp and grits, a banana stuffed French toast. I think they borrowed that from across the lake over at Ohana. Mm-hmm. And even a traditional plant-based breakfast with kids having options of fruit and oatmeal, Mickey-shaped waffles, and cereal. And then, of course, we switch to lunch or dinner, which you're going to have that same kind of menu. Again, you're going to pick one of 4 currently offered appetizers, a soup of the day, a braised beef, a castle salad. Doesn't that sound unique?
It sure does.
With, of course, green goddess dressing, because,
of course,
goddess, princess, it's all right up there.
100%.
Or chilled jumbo shrimp. Entrees are everything from, again, that slow braised beef, but in an entree portion, roasted lamb, grilled filet mignon, a marinated grilled chicken, again, that vegan option, a pan roasted cauliflower, and a catch of the day. And then desserts, of course, uniquely named. The clock strikes 12, a chocolate ganache tart, berry mousse, floating island, a raspberry meringue with a tropical fruit and plant-based ganache, and then Jack and Gus cheesecake, a vanilla cheesecake with fresh fruit. With kids having, as you would expect, kids menu, sliced apples, bite-sized cheddar cheese and grapes, or a garden salad for an entree. And then the good old chicken strips or mac and cheese for those kid lovers, as well as a grilled steak if you have a child that is more onto the adult type of entrees, a seared fish of the day. Then they can pick their own sides from seasonal vegetables, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, and rice. And then their desserts also switch it up a little bit. A build-your-own cupcake where they get to do some of the icing, a seasonal sorbet, A sword in the sweet, a white chocolate sword in a chocolate marshmallow mousse stone. I mean, how can you go wrong with those
Nah, it
options?
sounds awesome. And it's inside the castle, which is just the theming, just there's nothing else like it.
Correct. And again, so that's going to be a fixed price per person. It is one of the only meals on property that whether you're on a dining plan or not, you're going to need to make that reservation. Make sure if you're on a dining plan, it is connected when you make the reservation because it will be 2 credits off of your plan and a credit card guarantee. But if you're not on a meal plan, it is one of the only reservations that requires full prepayment. That credit card is not just a guarantee.
Okay. There's also another option at the Magic Kingdom that's also a 2 credit option.
And of course, it's a castle as well, moving over to Beast Castle. And again, this is one of the reasons we always talk about making sure that you're very up to date on things. Because if you're looking at old information on Disney, you will see that the breakfast and lunch was a fast food. That is no longer offered. That stopped in 2020. Breakfast is no longer served in the castle. Lunch and dinner are that prefix menu. So again, you're going to pick an appetizer. Adults can get everything from escargot, French onion soup, or a salad with entrees that are grilled filet mignon, a roasted squash, a roasted chicken, a short rib, and desserts. I always love when they do those little dessert trios. You get the best of 3 things instead of picking one, or a vanilla cake with lemon curd. And again, kids have those options that are kid friendly. Chicken strips, mac and cheese. And then for those that are looking for something a little different, a pan-seared chicken, a grilled steak, or a pan-seared shrimp. Again, kids are a little bit more difficult to say, here's your side and go for it. So 5 sides, pick 2. I don't know how sauteed squash is top of the kids list, but apparently they think it is.
My kids love squash.
There you go. Then it was done just for the caviella.
That's right.
Brown rice, French fries, sweet potatoes, and of course, steamed fresh green beans. And then they too can get that dessert trio or fresh fruit. So again, these restaurants are also very heavy on the ambiance. That's what people are going for. It is a little bit more expensive than a lot of the meals on property. That's designated by that 2 credits or that signature service, but it really is about the experience.
Well, in true American fashion, we break away from the Royals and we head out to America where we have our last one over here at the Magic Kingdom.
Liberty Tree Tavern. And again, this is one of those that I say to people, make sure you're always talking to your agent to get the most current things or reading what Disney's providing on the apps. This is no longer a character experience. It has not been for many years, but it is still that great Thanksgiving meal. It is that all you care to eat. So they're going to bring you a platter to serve family style. It is a mixed green salad with apples, cranberries, and cheese. What they call their Patriots platter: roasted turkey, pot roast, oven roasted pork, mashed potatoes, stuffing, house-made mac and cheese, seasonal vegetables, of course, gravy on the side. You can ask for more of the whole platter or anything you want. So it's okay to say to them, we would just like more mashed potatoes or just more turkey and mashed potatoes. When it comes to seconds and thirds, they will bring you that whole platter or just the parts that you want. They also have a plant-based option. So you can get plant-based meatloaf with mashed potatoes, mushroom gravy, and seasonal vegetables. The general fare dessert is what they call their ooey gooey toffee cake, a vanilla toffee cake with chocolate sauce and vanilla ice cream. Though I like to ask for the one on the plant-based menu. It's what they used to traditionally serve, a warm apple pie with cream on top. And again, because this is not all you care to eat, served unlimited, it is no sharing, pay per person.
Got it. Okay.
And a single credit on your meal plan.
Let's hop on the monorail, blow past the transportation and ticket center, and head over to Epcot where we've got a couple of fun options.
We do, and I will say for the first one, I am slightly boycotting.
Okay. Well, you'll tell us why in a second, but give us what it is.
The Garden Grill, which for those of you who are trying to picture where that is, it is upstairs in the land above soaring. It's that restaurant that rotates, and part of the restaurant, if you kind of look out to your side, you can look into the Living with the Land ride.
Yeah, this was a fun one for us. We did this when my son was very very little and my daughter was littler, and it's a character experience. So it was a fun experience for them.
And I think because of the size of the restaurant, it's one of the great character experiences where the characters have a lot more time because there are not as many tables here as there are at someplace like Chef Mickey's. So they have more time to spend at each table. Of course, you've got Farmer Mickey because it's the Garden Grill in his overalls and ready to go. But a really fun experience. As I said, it does do 3 meals a day. I am currently boycotting the breakfast because they were known for their skillet cinnamon roll, which was this hot, gooey, wonderful thing that they have somehow decided to eliminate. Instead, they bring a basket of pastries, and it's going to be Mickey-shaped waffles, smoked bacon, skillet potatoes, backyard grilled steak, scrambled free-range eggs, and some fresh fruit. And of course, if you're looking for the plant-based option, they do it with plant-based waffles, scrambled eggs, and Impossible breakfast sausage. One of the big questions that we get in a lot of families, that plant-based only applies to 1 or 2 people. You do not have to pick one or the other per party. You do, in theory, pick it per person. So you can't go there as one person and ask for one of each kind of skillet. But if somebody at your table is plant-based and others are not, they will bring both skillets, and again, they will bring unlimited refills from anything in there. Just no more cinnamon rolls.
Well, and that's for breakfast. We, as a family, went for dinner, which was a lovely experience where Pluto took my daughter for a walk as opposed to the other way around. So that was fun.
There you go. And it is a great dinner. Starts with their very well-known cornbread, harvest-inspired garden salad. And one of the neat things about the garden salad, I'll leave you guessing if this is yours or not, but much of the produce does come from right downstairs and Living with the Land. So kind of neat thing there. For dinner, you're going to get that backyard grilled steak, rotisserie roasted chicken, fresh green beans, home-style mashed potatoes. Of course, meal would not be complete without mac and cheese. And then they have a seasonal pie with vanilla ice cream, as well as a Farmer Mickey cupcake for the kids, which is chocolate cake with buttercream and cookies and cream crumble. You can also here, again, opt for the plant-based, which is going to replace, obviously, those meats, those proteins, with a pulled pork version that is plant-based, as well as plant-based smoked sausage.
There is another one at Epcot, and I'm going to be honest, I have not done it, and I need to go because my 5-year-old right now is very obsessed with the theming of what it is because it's in space.
Well, I'm going to give you my little tip on this one. So the restaurant we're talking about is Space 220, and it mostly meets my guideline of a prefix because it is one price for lunch, different price for dinner because dinner includes an additional course. And again, like I mentioned before, when you do the prefix menu, there is no saying we're going to share. However, you can make a reservation at the bar in Space 220, which is several seats literally at the bar and several small tables up on the bar pedestal. And there you can order a la carte. So it's an interesting little option there.
Sure.
Space 220 is not on a meal plan this year. We're hoping we see it in the future. I'm not quite sure why it's been left off, but good to know that it is left off. Again, it's going to begin with an appetizer. And one of the things that I will say here, and you'll hear it in some of the names that I read, it's about the presentation. So it is the look of the food that it is in outer space. Sometimes it resembles some of the food that we saw at the Star Cruiser. Some of it is dyed blue and purple, and they really work on those colors. But you can pick one of the 9 appetizers, anything from Big Bang Burrata, Blue Moon cauliflower, They have a calamari, a roast beet salad, a Wagyu beef carpaccia, a scallop risotto. I mean, those all sound like full meals to me, let alone
Yeah, I was going to
being
say.
just a starter.
Yeah.
Main courses that are anything from a bone-in pork chop, a space pad thai, a grilled swordfish, a miso salmon, a filet mignon, and a slow roasted chicken. And those options are going to be the same whether you're doing lunch or dinner. The real difference for dinner is it's going to add in the dessert. And again, lots of desserts, 7 to choose from, a carrot cake, a strawberry mousse, a Blue Planet, which is a chocolate cheesecake with cookie crumbs and vanilla truffles and raspberry, again, bringing in that pink flavor. The Pinot Nova, a hummingbird cake, again, with that bright yellow, a coconut mousse, a pineapple caviar, gelatos, sorbets, great choices. But you're all probably saying some of those choices aren't what my kids would eat. So instead of burrata, they go for what the kids are like, mozzarella moons, aka fried cheese.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Mini Rich and Mac is an appetizer. Elbow macaroni with American cheddar cream sauce, aka mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Fruit cups, crudités, and then their main courses are very different here. They've got chicken meatballs, spaghetti, and tomato sauce, fried chicken tenders, Swiss fries, and ketchup, a smashed burger, a beef tenderloin, again, that mission macaroni, but in a full-size portion. And then they have a lot of fun with the kids' desserts, a cosmic cupcake, a gelato soup, or a milky melt-away, a caramel hot chocolate, vanilla gelato, and chocolate dome. It's good to be a kid here.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it.
So some great choices here. Again, this is prefix, which means you're going to pick one from each section of the menu, and it is no refills on your meal. It is just that 2-course or 3-course meal if you're going at dinner.
Got it. All right, so my family in the most recent trip, we left Epcot throughout the back there, and we took the Sky Gondola over to Hollywood Studios. So that's where we're going next for our next dining experience.
And this one's relatively new. We actually did an entire episode dedicated to it, but there's been a good amount of change to it since it first opened. And that is the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue over in Toy Story Land. This one is a lot of fun. I really enjoy the atmosphere of this one. There are no characters present, but there is lots of character to the dining experience. And this one is going to be one of those all you care to eat, but again, a little bit of a twist similar to Liberty Tree Tavern. They're going to pick the options for you. You're going to get multiple courses of their choosing. So it starts with a bread service, a cheddar biscuit, and they are known for their sweet pepper jelly. Then there are 2 kinds of salad. One to me is more like a dessert. It is Wheezy's watermelon salad. So again, that's a great one because it's plant-based, but who doesn't love some watermelon?
Sure.
And a rootin' tootin' tomato salad. Then they're going to bring out your platter, again, served family style. There's smoked ribs, beef brisket, sausage, grilled pork sausage, barbecued chicken, and baked beans. Or you can pick that plant-based option. It's cauliflower with a walnut glaze, bratwurst is plant-based, a plant-based rib, as well as, again, the baked beans. When they opened, you then picked your sides. Now there's no choosing of sides. There is 5 sides that come to every table. Potato barrels, Slinky Dog mac and cheese. Do you notice a theme about mac and cheese?
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's why my son keeps wanting to go back, because now that's all he wants. He just wants mac and cheese every day.
They call it cowpoke corn on the cob. It is a grilled street corn. If you haven't tried it, you need to head there. I loved the street corn. A veggie slaw, and baked beans. And again, out of those 5 sides, 3 of them are plant-based. And I'm somebody, I will admit, words like plant-based, gluten-free, all of those things, I tend to shy away from because I just decide they must be tasteless. That's not the case here. I will be honest and say all of it was great.
What about dessert?
That's the only choice you have. There are 5 desserts: an apple pie, a lemon blueberry cheesecake, a chocolate silk pie, a peach strawberry pie, and then there's a forky cupcake. They're all great. They are all those small options. They are supposed to be one per person. I will say that there's been a waitress or two that if you're really stuck between two, they tend to be a little generous and bring an extra. You will not leave here hungry. Again, you can say, we want more potato barrels. We want more brisket. They will keep bringing as much of any of the food as you want until you are stuffed. This one, again, it's a fixed price, but it's just 1 credit on your meal plan. So a lot of fun and a great way to really make sure you've eaten all you want to eat for the day.
Well, we mentioned we were going to go to all the theme parks. The Animal Kingdom, we roll a big zero here. There isn't an option there to discuss. So with your permission, we can segue over to our last 3, which are at resorts.
You bet. The only thing I will say, just as a reminder, we covered buffets in a different episode. So I don't want anyone saying, hey, you forgot a buffet. Again, this is just prefix meals and all you care to eat. So Animal Kingdom has a buffet, but that's not our discussion tonight.
Right.
So I am going to turn it over to you, Jeff, because I can't do justice to Jeff's favorite place to eat.
Well, for years, we would go to Walt Disney World, and the very first place we would have to do on the first night in order to really feel like we had arrived at Walt Disney World was go over to Pioneer Hall over at the campgrounds over there at Fort Wilderness and go to the Hoop-de-Doo review. And for years, I'm telling you, this is how we began every vacation. And so you sit down, you have the show, you have your meal, you have some sangria or some beer, or if you're a kid, you have some soda, or you have some chocolate milk, whatever works for you. And everything
I'll take
from
sangria, pass it this way.
Well, that's why we go. But everything from fried chicken to ribs to mashed potatoes to beans, you name it, and you're getting this backyard barbecue-esque type of meal while you're enjoying a show. It's quintessential Disney. It's one of those things that we did when I was a kid, and then I took my own kids, and before I had kids, my wife and I went. So it's one of those things that I recommend everybody does when they visit property.
And it is a great show, but I always like to make sure people know what they're getting. It is quintessential Disney because it's been there since the beginning.
Correct.
However, there are no characters. It is not a Disney stage show. Like, you're not getting Beauty and the Beast on there.
Nope.
It is a great, fun vaudeville type night.
Yep, very much so. Very much so. And again, you've mentioned the credits for the dining plan. This is a double, right? You're gonna use 2 of your credits on this particular experience.
Correct. And like Cinderella's Royal Table, this is one of those rare ones that if you are paying cash versus a meal plan, you will pay on making the reservation.
Yeah.
It is still something that you can cancel, but you do pay in full. If you're doing it at that 60-day mark, that's when you're going to pay for it.
And strawberry shortcake. We'll just leave it with that at the end.
There you go.
All right, let's go over to the Polynesian, which is, it's just one of the most fantastic dining experiences, in my opinion, on property.
It is Ohana for breakfast and dinner. 2 very different experiences, but they both fall into our all you care to eat prefix kind of meal. So for breakfast, it is characters, and that is breakfast only. And they're going to bring you their famous fresh made pineapple coconut breakfast bread, and then your skillet, which is going to be scrambled eggs, pork sausage, Hawaiian styled ham, fried island potatoes, of course, Mickey waffles and biscuits. And of course, again, you have a plant-based option. The skillet has a few less offerings in it. Scrambled eggs, sausage, potatoes, character-shaped waffles. Notice they're not committing on Mickey there. I think that's always interesting. And then the dessert in there, because you can't have that pineapple coconut bread, unfortunately, is a cinnamon sugar donut.
That sounds acceptable. We can live with that. What about for our other meal?
The other meal is an extremely popular one on property. It is the dinner skillet, which is fired grilled teriyaki beef, peel and eat shrimp coated in ohana seasoning. They've got their own secret sauce. Grilled chicken with guava pineapple glaze, the very famous ohana noodles, stir-fried vegetables, their signature bread with a honey butter, pork dumplings tossed in garlic chili sauce, and then, of course, bread pudding for dessert. Again, a plant-based option with many of the same, but done with plant substitutes. And really here, that is the family meal. They don't go all out. It's one of the few menus that we don't see mac and cheese on.
Yes, well, it's a little bit differently themed. No way to plug mac and cheese into ohana. That's okay. We'll forgive them.
You can survive one meal without it.
That's right. That's right. All right. I think we have one left that we wanted to talk about tonight. So what do you got?
This is one of the newer character meals, so it's been around for a few years now. Storybook Dining at Ida's Point with Snow White. Love those long Disney names.
Yeah, very, very concise.
It is, as its name implies, Snow White, grumpy, bashful, and the evil queen. So it is a lot of fun for a character meal. Again, this is going to be fixed price. And like we saw over at Cinderella's Royal Table and Be Our Guest, this is pick from each section of the menu. And I'm going to read the current menu to you, but they do change mostly the appetizers seasonally. So they also do a phenomenal job of presentation here. If I can just kind of set the scene for you. When you arrive at your table, you have what looks like a tree trunk with big leaves facing up. And that's where they sit all of the appetizers, because everybody gets small portions of each appetizer to try, and then the same for the dessert. So you're really only picking your main course because we're going to stuff you with those tasting portions on appetizers and desserts. So appetizers right now is a wild mushroom bisque soup, a hunter's pie, and a wicked shrimp cocktail. The soup is the main one that's changed. When we've been there in the fall, they've done a pumpkin soup, and that's always going to be a seasonal. And again, before you even get to your main course, you've already had 3 miniature appetizers.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
No.
The cottage beef stroganoff, which I will tell you is one of my favorites there. There is a royal prime rib, a slow braised quick shank, whatever the current sustainable fish is. They call it a stroll through nature. So again, that's going to be your vegan, vegetarian, etc. Asparagus, leeks, arugula, gnocchi, sage, parmesan, all kind of created in this special recipe they have. The sorcerer's spell of chicken dinner. Cauliflower puree, roasted vegetables. It is a plant-based. That is why it's chicken.
Sure.
And then the Brothers Grimm herb chicken. Again, desserts, you're going to get a taste of 3 tiny desserts. The Miner's Treasure, which is a cookies and cream panna cotta with chocolate gems on it. The Fairy Tale Gooseberry Tart. And I will say, I wasn't sure about this one, but definitely try it. It is meringue and gooseberry. I don't know that I've ever had gooseberry before or after in my life, except for there. And then the Poison Apple, which is also a phenomenal dessert, a dark chocolate apple mousse.
Oof.
After you've had those desserts, in case you're still not full, they bring you the Hunter's Gift of the Queen, and I will not spoil that one for you. You'll have to go and check it out. Again, they do have some different options for the kids, not on the appetizers, but on the main course. They do a grilled chicken, prime rib, and a grilled fish, and they give them a choice of 2 out of the 5 sides, and you guessed it, one is, of course, mac and cheese. There's mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, cooked carrots, or broccolini. So plenty for everybody to enjoy. And again, this is a great character meal with some character entertainment beyond just the standard come and get your picture and autograph. So check this one out. It's a great one that I always recommend for maybe a day that you're in Animal Kingdom and hopping over to Magic Kingdom, because we've talked about how, for the most part, there isn't resort to resort transportation. So you can leave Animal Kingdom on the Wilderness Lodge bus, grab your dinner, head out back, get on the boat, head over to Magic Kingdom, catch a couple of rides in the fireworks, and then head out for Magic Kingdom transportation back to your resort. So I think we've covered lots of food. As we said, it's all you care to eat. I think anybody who's been listening, you are truly stuffed at this point.
I can't imagine anybody wouldn't be. So listen, thank you for sharing the opportunity, sharing about all these dining experiences tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you're stuffed and have a great week.
You too.
That's a wrap this week on Let's Talk Dis. If anyone you know could benefit from this or any show, please share on your Facebook and Instagram for other Disney fans to enjoy. And don't forget to reach out to the folks at Easy Dis by Instant Impressions Travel Services for any Disney destination planning. Make it a great week. And as always, keep making memories.